Hey everyone, welcome back to Theory in 3, where we're going to look at essential music theory for guitar in about 3 minutes. So we so far have gone through all of the intervals from seconds up to sevenths, and this week we're going to be dealing with sevenths as the interval. Now, we had mentioned before that seconds and thirds and sixths and sevenths are either major or minor. So they're major if they're right out of the scale. So for instance, if I'm in the key of C and I go to C, D, E, F, G, A, B, that would be a major seventh. If I lower a second, major third, major sixth, or major seventh by a half step, it becomes a minor. So if I went C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and I lowered it a half step, that becomes a minor seventh. Now, we're not going to talk much about chords today because we haven't dealt with a lot of the chord understanding as far as intervals and stuff, but just to look at the shape, the geometric shape on the instrument, if you know your octave, so it's 2 strings and 2 frets apart, and you go down a half step, that's the major seventh. Or if you're on the G string, D string or G string, it's up 4 frets for the octave, and then down a half step would be the seventh. Now, there's not a lot of songs that use a major seventh to start off with. So a lot of people, when I was in music school, the popular interval to know would be Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Somewhere Over the Rainbow. There's that a-ha song that's Take Me On. I think it's called Take Me On is the a-ha song. But anyhow, if you just go to the root and go down a half step, you'll be able to hear that. And incidentally, if you can, when you listen for intervals and you want to know like what they are, if you can hear resolutions on them. So this one, you hear that it wants to go up by a half step. So I hear everything as resolving either to the octave or to the fifth and then back down to the octave. So that's a pretty good way of doing it. What I used to do for music theory is I would just play a C note and then I would take a pencil with an eraser on it and I'd hit another note and just name that note just from the sound of it. All right, so minor seventh is this interval, and so it's the same fret and 2 strings apart. Or if it's on the D string, it would be the fret up, or the G string fret up. And there's a couple of songs that you might know, like you might know Somewhere by Bernstein. That's a famous one. Let me think. Oh, Star Trek. If you know Star Trek, that's an old one. I don't know if you'd know that either. Same with the Bernstein. Or one of the most famous ones is this one. That's Josie by Steely Dan, played by the great Larry Carlton. So that's a good one for that. One note on the seventh, when they talk about seventh chords, it's always the flatted seventh that's in the seventh chord, but we'll deal with that in a later episode. Until next time, God bless.